What's up, Biggie Nation? We here this week coming. No, okay, hold on a second. All right.
Yep.
What's up, Biggie Nation? I decided to do something a little different this week. We got, I get a lot of questions on my IG at Fred Biggie Smalls, and so I figured, instead of always just responding on my stories, that I do a whole video with the 5 to 6 best questions that I got over the week. So we're gonna do a little Q&A with Biggie, and so let's get right into it, so we can answer these questions. People always want to know more. So, what's the first question?
First question is, what got you interested in the sport of bodybuilding at Greg Miller _FNC?
Alright, so what got me into the sport of bodybuilding? Actually, I was, a pretty overweight kid. I was like 5 foot, 180 pounds. And my mom took me over to, with the gym that I'm actually in now, actually running my business out of the training center in Newcastle, Delaware. And she got me a trainer, and that gym happens to be centered around powerlifting and bodybuilding at the time. And, I just kind of fell in love with it. Loved the sport and loved what we were doing in there. And once I started lifting, I always had a great love of lifting, and I like muscles, and, so we got into bodybuilding because we started lifting at 13. We go through our sports in high school, so I got to college and just wanted to see if I could take it further. So we did our first show my freshman year in college.
Next question is, what is your fat percentage in the off season? At Sammy _CHOHAN.
Okay. Obviously, you don't know how to say the name.
I don't. So which one? Not do that.
My body fat fluctuates. Right now it's coming down from the heights it's been in years. Because for a long time, after I turned pro in 2010, I used to have to stay in pretty reasonable shape because I was guest posing all year. But so I don't really know an actual percentage, but what I'd like to say is that my former coach, George Farrer, once said, once you do the Olympia, you can never lose your abs. So up until this past year when I got injured, I hadn't lost my abs in probably 5-6 years. So right now I got them back, and so whatever fat percentage that is, I try and at least be able to see a 4-pack all year and lines through my legs. So now how it relates to you guys is if you're getting ready to compete, or you're thinking about doing a show, you want to make sure that you're staying in reasonable condition all year. It just makes it so much easier to maintain the muscle when you're coming down and getting lean, and it also makes it so that you don't have to suffer as much, which means you can train harder, which means you can sometimes add a little muscle tissue leading up into the show. So instead of constantly just worrying about losing fat and trying to make the show, you're coasting in and trying to get bigger as well. So it just makes it a bit much better prep if you just stay lean all year.
And what is your favorite sport other than bodybuilding?
I would have to say my favorite sport would either be football. Really enjoy watching football. Philadelphia Eagles would be my team. My son plays football. And the other would probably be basketball. Huge LeBron fan. And both of my boys play basketball as well. So those are probably the 2 sports that I look to outside of the strength sports and bodybuilding.
And how long were you lifting before you started competing?
I started lifting when I was 13, so 5 years, but competed when I was 18. And I would say, from the time I was 13, I never really stopped other than when I was getting ready to play whatever sport I was playing, whether it's football, wrestling, or track.
How often do you train out?
Not enough. No, actually, I just started training abs again after the injury because one of the things that's really weak on me right now is my serratus anterior from the pec tear. So we're training abs more often, and then in an effort to just get my obliques on because like with the pec tear, I'm gonna have to pose a little differently. And my stronger side for my obliques was my left side. My right side is never quite as strong, so we've been training that side a little bit more, or train the abs in general more so we can have more balance, more symmetry. But generally, it's from the aesthetic standpoint, you don't really need to train abs that often. It's more from functionality, protecting your lower back, keeping your core tight, keeping it strong. Should definitely be training abs like twice a week.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Back in 2016, we were top of the world, man. Traveling. We just took second at the Arnold.
And
Second at the Arnold.
yeah, and Arnold Asia, man. And that was stacked lineup too. And came back, Cloud 9, guest pose in New York the next weekend for Victor Martinez's show. And then that Monday, we were supposed to take the kids to like Dutch Wonderland or something. And I just felt terrible. And Tuesday, I remember getting up trying to do cardio and felt even worse. And still really hadn't eaten anything because everything I was eating was going right through me.
Man.
And by the time I think Thursday or Friday rolled around, I was in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And in there, I was like, I'm doing the Olympia, so y'all need to hurry up and do what y'all gotta do, get me out of here. And they like, we trying not to put you in intensive care because you about to die. So I knew something was wrong. My dad came in, told me he loved me. I said, oh man, I thought it was some rat.
Word.
But yeah, man, that was crazy. And I remember I went in there at like 240 pounds, man, came out at 203 pounds. And that make you appreciate a whole lot, man. When you're in there, you go from qualified for the Olympia, feeling really confident about it. You're ready to do the Arnold Europe, couldn't do none of it. And sponsorships, start losing them, and then that's definitely a lesson learned, on that one, man. Like, things are going good, you definitely gotta appreciate it because you never know when that turn is gonna come. But in resilient fashion, a month and a half out of the hospital, I was back guest posing again. So.
Wow. Yeah, crazy story, man.
Yeah. So back to the question. What's the next question up in line?
Who taught you those peculiar posing routines?
Well, I guess by peculiar they mean unique, electrifying, fun. No one taught them to me. I was a dancer in college, dancer all through high school, street dancing. Got more technical when I got into college with jazz and modern and ballet and all that stuff. So I love to perform, and that's why I started bodybuilding. One of the reasons I started bodybuilding because it allowed me to be strong, like when I was powerlifting. So I had a really good powerlifting career, and also allowed me to perform, And I used to love dancing, and I did many shows with different choreographers and stuff. So the two, bodybuilding allowed me to marry the two, being strong, training hard, being athletic, and performing. And even when I don't want to train or don't feel like eating the right stuff, the thought of getting back on stage and performing in front of a big crowd was always motivating for me. But in terms of who taught me those routines, I'm just taking what I feel in the music, putting it out there for y'all to see, and throwing some poses to it, And what I try and do, since we caught so much backlash early on in my career, it does too much dancing. I mean, all I know is people think it's entertaining, and I get nothing but standing applauses when I do it. But for the people that like to see more posing, then I typically try and start my routines off with like a minute and a half of nothing but posing. And then the last minute and a half is, what I do. Some dance, some posing, some moving around, popping, locking, all that kind of stuff. So.
Which bodybuilder of the past motivated you to compete?
Flex Wheeler, without question. Flex symmetry, the way he looked, the way he presented, his swag. God. Yeah, Flex is awesome, man. I used to watch Flex and just
be in awe of how he presented himself on stage. So, and I love his training videos. They were so cocky, you know. Knew he was the shit. So yeah, definitely flexibility.
How's your pec coming along, mate? When can we expect you back?
Pec's going really well, getting stronger every week. For you, those of you that follow on Instagram, you see that the training is getting better every week, and I expect to be back in March, 100%, ready to roll. You know, Pec looks better with every workout, and you know, my conditioning is getting better week to week, and size is starting to come back. So I think by March we'll be good. All right, so we over here at Razor's Edge, over on Kirkwood Highway in Delaware, and this is on Barber Life. What's your Instagram?
JD on 7. Come check me out.
Yeah, definitely.
Get the opportunity.
It's got my goatee looking fresh, looking dope, clean cut.
Back to life.
Yes, back to life. And as we get ready to go to Costa Rica tomorrow to support Team Biggie Smalls member Amanda, Mace Ventura, at Mace_Ventura on Instagram. We're gonna go for that pro card in Costa Rica this weekend, so gotta look good for the photos. But so those are the most interesting questions that we got over the last couple days. So look for my live feeds and my stories, because I'll be putting out there, you know, ask me a question, and feel free to ask whatever. The more information I can give you guys, the better. And I really enjoy doing it, and I always get excited to see what you guys are going to ask. So DM me and watch my stories. So we'll be doing this, you know, at least once every couple weeks. So I look forward to the questions. If you learned anything or heard anything interesting, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. Peace. That's a crazy story, man. Was that all right? Take one.
No, right. Yeah, just edit that one out.
Yeah, you know, like, yo, yeah, you almost died, man. That's a crazy story.
Word, B.
Oh man.
Yeah, I gotta get used
the
to
next
this camera
question,
shit.
dog. What's the next question?
Hey, I was just getting some side footage.